guys, I'm Heather, and I'm the oldest. She's the emotional one.
Do not
Like,
puke
I don't
on my
know if I need to
carpet.
try to get it to come out here or here.
Jesus. Mary and Joseph and all of his carpenter friends.
Hey guys, I'm Ben. I'm the middle child.
And he's the practical one.
Okay, here we go. Oh, what am I going to say though? Now y'all made me nervous.
It's going to be a time,
I'm a
isn't it?
sensitive boy.
I'm Beth, and I'm the baby.
She's also the swing vote.
I've been hit! I got the little frilly socks and everything.
Together, we make the Music List podcast. And welcome back to another episode of the Music List podcast. My name is Ben. With me are my sisters Heather and Beth. We are siblings that argue while making music lists. That's the shtick. That's what we do.
Yep.
All right. So this is one here. Before we get started, Beth said that she's got a listener shout out she wants to do.
Yeah, so I was at church a couple of weeks ago, and I get a tap on my shoulder, and it was like, "Hey, I just want to let you know that I listen to the podcast like a lot." And then is David Hamrick. So
All right.
David. Yeah, and so David is not a complete stranger at all. Like, we grew up in the same town, and so
Went to the same church.
Yes. And he was like, "I don't know if this is weird." And I'm like, "No, it's not. I feel like we should know each other better than for you to feel like it's weird." But anyway, his kid was behind him like, "Yeah, he does listen to the podcast."
And a pretty good musician himself.
Yes.
Huh? Yeah,
Yes,
it's
very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
And so we just want to thank you for listening. And if anybody else wants to declare your undying love for the Music List podcast, we'll shout you out too.
Yeah, well, hey, David, I'm glad you're listening out there. This is going to be it could potentially be an interesting episode. I think it could be. I'm afraid that emotion's going to get the better of us.
I'm excited.
I'm afraid that emotion's going to get the better of us.
I took my little anxiety medicine this morning. I feel good. Y'all might get in your feels, but I don't think I will.
Because
Famous last words, I guess.
What this is more difficult than we did a best American bands a couple seasons ago, and I'm pretty sure the Eagles probably came up number one because of the Eagles. I'm almost surely they
Don't
did.
remember. I don't remember.
But there was something that was like, I don't know that we fought real hard on that one. But
There were some moments of...
But we're doing the best British bands in this episode, and here's what my contention has always been this: when it comes to individual artists, the Americans win that rock and roll war with the Brits. I'll put Michael Jackson, Elvis, Prince, all those icons above the Elton Johns and the folks that they've got. We've got the king of rock and the king of pop.
Yeah.
And we don't even have a monarchy.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So, we in my opinion, we win that battle pretty easily. But when it comes to bands, the Brits put together some legendary bands. And pound for pound, more so than, we've got a much bigger population. We've got a longer history with rock and roll because it started here.
Yeah.
And then you could make the case that the 5 bands we list today would be the 5 greatest rock and roll bands of all time.
Yeah, probably.
I think that case could be made.
It almost feels like that. When I was making my list, I was like, golly, it kind of feels like that might be the list we're making.
Because, when you look at the greatest American bands, you're going to be looking at like the Eagles and Metallica and the Beach Boys, and you're like, are they better than Queen? Are they better than, some of the, I mean, it's like the Brits.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, they put together some incredible bands. And here's my fear. My fear is I know how this family feels about the Beatles, that we are not going to be able to put our emotions aside and look at things in a pragmatic fashion. That's my fear.
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like somebody who didn't get to draft the Beatles, and now you're going to try to make your case
I draft
for...
first.
Oh. Strange. Okay.
What's the order? That's a good question here.
So I draft first. Heather drafts second.
Okay.
Beth drafts third.
Okay, that explains some things. But
And then Beth will draft first in the second round. Heather will always draft in the middle. So that means I'll draft last in round 2, but first in round 3.
Okay.
All right. That'll give us 9 songs, or 9 bands, I'm sorry. 9 bands, 9 British bands, and then we're going to have to cut 4 of them to where we'll have 5 left. That's the 9 to 5 round, and then we've got to rank them 1 through 5.
Yeah.
And there could be some debate about who gets into it, but I have a feeling that there's going to be contention when we start trying to rank the top 5. I'm
that'll be tough.
I'm
Yup.
anticipating contention when we get to the ranking of the top 5.
I'm excited.
So, are we ready to get started?
Yep, let's do it.
I know what the overwhelming consensus for this pick is going to be. But it's not that.
Okay.
I pick Led Zeppelin.
That was the correct song to pick, too.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hard to pick.
No.
Okay, so here's the case for them to be number 1 overall. No matter which band member you take, they are arguably in the top 5 all time at their musician, in their instrument or their role. We've already done it with Robert Plant. What Robert Plant was when we did best frontman, he was
He may
he was 1, 2, or 3. I feel really confident.
Absolutely, yeah.
We haven't done drummers, but it's better than 50-50 that John Bonham would be number 1 greatest drummer of all time, I would think. Okay. Jimmy Page already on our 70s guitar,
Yep.
really high, made the top 5. John Paul Jones is phenomenal. Not only is he one of the better bass guitar players, he also was their keyboard player. He also did heavy production for them. Each individual is elite. One of the best to have ever done it. In ways that there will be some bands that can compete with Led Zeppelin with vocals, but they may not have the musicianship behind it. There may be some bands that have the total collection of musicians, the instrumentations, the folks that can play the guitars and the drums, but they don't sing like with the same power and that Robert Plant's got. And there will be some that don't do either one, but we elevate them because of their songwriting. And songwriting is a part, right? And I think that the songwriting is one of the things that Led Zeppelin is underrated on because they write about weird stuff. I mean, we're using Lord of the Rings as a reference point to write our songs.
True.
And we're using Viking raids, such as Immigrant Song, to write our songs. And they just and the songs that they played oftentimes did not lend themselves to radio because they're 7 minutes long. Right? I mean, Stairway to Heaven wasn't even a single because, you start it and you've aged, by the time you listen to it. So, it didn't play well for radio. But just when you look at them in their entirety and what they bring to the table, to me, it's not it's not close. They are the best band of all time.
Ooh.
I mean, to me, it's not close.
Man, that's silly.
Just on the strength of how good the individuals
They're
are.
Great. It's not time for this yet.
I'm so excited. This is what I was waiting on.
All the bands may have one or two people that can compete with the four, but nobody's going to have somebody that can compete up and down the line with Led Zeppelin. I don't think. We'll see. We'll see. But that's and the other thing I would say is that they were super, super consistent. They didn't have trash albums. Not one trash album. They also, when they were sober, let's preface that. When they were sober, their live performances are some of the most iconic performances of any band ever. And so that has a lot to do with their actual ability to do it, not just in a studio, but they can do it on a stage. And I recall Aerosmith, Steven Tyler, went to he didn't even know who they were, but he went to a Led Zeppelin concert. I think they were in New Jersey or something, and he was like blown away. And he was like, "That's what I want to do. That's the band. That's the kind of band I want to be." So, like, other bands kind of sprang out of that. Aerosmith being one. So, to me, we're going to get into the other bands, I'm sure, and with our friends across the pond, as they say, right? There are a lot of great bands, legendary bands, but I don't think any of them are as talented as this collection of individuals. There are super groups that are not as good as this.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
This was a super group.
Yeah.
Before, they just all happened to be in the first, the band together. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Heather?
Oh, okay. Well, my pick is a band you may have heard of. Maybe on this podcast. Formed in 1960 in Liverpool, the Beatles. I picked their best song.
Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly,
You're still butthurt about that, aren't you?
I'm not half the man I used to be.
The worst shenanigans in the history of the show.
Okay.
But if we had a podcast that was ranking early Beatles, where do you think that one would go, Heather?
I don't know, probably number one.
Probably. You would think. You might think. But if you go and listen to our podcast ranking early Beatles, you might hear something different, but I'm not going to spoil it for you.
Yeah.
So you should go listen to it.
You're at fault too.
Oh, yeah, I got my number one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm not heard about it.
So, commonly, all four members of this band are just referred to by their first name. They don't. John, Paul, George, and Ringo. Everybody knows who the members of the Beatles are. Now, they had a few folks come in and out. Pete Best, Stuart Sutcliffe. widely regarded as the most influential band in Western pop music and 60s counterculture pop music as an art form. They pioneered recording, songwriting, presentation. Their whole image became iconic in itself. In 1962, over there, that's where Beatlemania started, and that's the first time you really see this frenzy, public frenzy, people losing their mind, and that ushered in the British invasion of the U.S. pop market. They made their film debut with Hard Day's Night in 1964, and of course, they retired from live performances in 1966 and focused on albums, which that was a shift in their sound. So let's just talk about a couple of important things to note. They are the best-selling music act of all time. 600 million units worldwide. They are the most successful act in history of U.S. on the Billboard charts. They have more number one hits on the Billboard Hot 100. They have the most number one albums on the UK albums chart, 8 Grammys, 4 Brit Awards, an Oscar. They were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame their first year of eligibility as a group, and they are all inducted individually as well. They topped Rolling Stone's list of 100 greatest artists in history. People emulated their clothing, their hairstyles. They changed the way people listened to music and experienced it in their lives. They changed culture, the impact of youth. They changed music. They changed how people used even tonalities when they brought in all of the Eastern mysticism. And so instrumentation, tonalities, they brought that and made that mainstream. They were all knighted. Well, they were all 4 offered to be knighted by the Queen. 2 of them have been knighted. John returned his, and George wasn't going to get a high a ranking as Paul, so he also
too late now.
Declined. They have 6 diamond albums, 20 multi-platinum, 16 platinum, and 6 gold albums in the U.S. alone. They've influenced everyone. You've been influenced by their sound, their lyrics. You've covered, sampled, referenced one of their songs if you are a popular musician. So, so when we talk about bands like Led Zeppelin, like Black Sabbath, there is no Black Sabbath without the Beatles. And you can say that for so many artists. Are they individually? I don't know. Paul McCartney's pretty fantastic as a musician.
George is the best musician.
George is a fantastic musician. Songwriting, it's elite. And I don't think you can discount their influence. Without the Beatles, we do not have popular music as we know it today, period.
Well, we've always made the distinction between the greatest and the best, right? I mean, there's a difference there. I would argue without question, they're the greatest band of all time, the Beatles. They're the greatest band.
We're going to split this hair?
Yeah, I've always said this. Like I've always said that the greatest quarterback of all time is Tom Brady, but the best quarterback of all time is probably somebody like John Elway. I mean, just in terms of just being the best quarterback.
Don't get me wrong. I love Led Zeppelin, and I have for a very long time. However, it's not just musicianship. Their songwriting, better than Led Zeppelin.
They definitely write better hooks. I mean, they write better pop radio music, without question.
It's not just regular pop, though.
It was the first 4 years. That's all exactly what it was.
But
I want to hold your. That's real
They did write
complicated.
pop, absolutely.
It's real. It's
But
super
anything from
simple.
1966
It's super simple
forward is not. And we had
The-
2 podcasts based on, because we had to separate them because their music evolved so much.
She loves you. Yeah.
Right. You can go through all of that stuff.
Super complicated stuff.
Right.
What I'm saying is I'm telling you, they are the greatest band of all time.
But more goes into being the best than just playing your instrument.
Yes, but more goes into being the best than just songwriting.
I know.
This is so fun. We hadn't even gotten to best pick yet.
I mean, because odds are both of them are going into the top 5.
Right.
We haven't
Oh,
even
yeah.
got to the.
Just already having this conversation.
Anyway.
We're drawing them in. If you stick around to the end of the podcast, you'll hear more of that.
The Beatles, ladies and gentlemen. Beth, what you got?
Well, this is not either of those 2 picks. And honestly, it was kind of I just did it. When I was making my list, I was like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to put them number 1. And the weird thing is, like, I was going to put them in my American bands list. And I was like, well, they have American members, but they were formed in the UK. And so I was like, well, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to put them on this one because they got to go somewhere. And I drafted Fleetwood Mac. That bass is nasty.
John McVie.
So nasty. All right. So Fleetwood Mac has a career spanning 5 decades. They've sold more than 120 million records. They are I don't want to say some. Well, yeah. I love their genre blending, right? Blues, folk, soft rock, pop, some other experimental styles. They have a broad appeal to many generations. Rumors, one of the best-selling albums of all time, consistently ranked as one of the greatest of all time. We've talked about that album at length on the podcast. Songwriting, melody creation, these rich, intricate harmonies. That's a defining feature of their music. This iconic rhythm section, whether that's drums and bass working together, and then the production quality, all of the layers of these songs. It's so impressive. And generations of artists are influenced by Fleetwood Mac. Their music also continues to appear in TV, on TikTok videos, commercials, movies. And not a lot of bands achieve commercial success, this deep connection with your fans, and critical acclaim. Like, you can get maybe 2 of those, but like maybe the critics will say, well, that's very simple music. Of course you appealed to a lot of people because there's not a lot of hard stuff to do. Or the critics say, wow, that music's super deep, but then you maybe don't have as much success because it's not, pop radio type stuff. So they're kind of special in that sense. I do think some of their strongest songwriting, I would say, probably done by the Americans, but
there are more Brits than Americans.
So so I'm calling it. I'm putting them in the best British bands, and I just want to. I mean, if we're gonna do this, let's do it.
I'm getting in there.
I can't be bothered, so I'm just gonna say the stuff. I'm gonna do what Ben does. I'm gonna just say something and see if it sticks. I think that musically, it's better than the Beatles. Instrumentally, vocally, maybe not songwriting. Beatles songwriting is so catchy, so good. And it's hit after hit after hit. But Fleetwood Mac, I mean, yes, Beatles had iconic harmonies that are specific to them, but I think these harmonies are better. I think this instrumentation is better and stronger and more diverse. And you're not saying anything because you can't argue with it.
No, I'm just I'm trying not to just be an automatic
Yeah.
no. And I'm trying to like roll them over.
Yeah.
But
And I love the Beatles. I want to be very clear about that.
yeah.
Very clear.
Ben might argue that they don't belong in this podcast at all because
Because they're not British?
He wouldn't call them a rock band.
We just said best British bands.
Yeah, I've always called them folk.
We didn't say rock bands.
That's true.
Oh, okay.
They're the greatest British folk band of all time.
There you go.
You know how I feel about Fleetwood Mac.
I know.
I love them, so I don't want to disparage them in any way. So
Okay. Well, then I'll just go on to my next pick.
okay.
So my next pick is
This ranking is going to be so fun.
Queen.
Oh, yeah.
The show must go on. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, inside my heart is breaking. My makeup may be flaking, but my smile still stays on. My soul is painted like the wings.
So kind of like Fleetwood Mac, and with all of my picks today, a theme would be just musical innovation and cross-genre work. So with Queen, you've got hard rock, operatic pop, funk, disco, stadium anthems, just diversity across and genre to genre to genre and accessible to a ton of people. They won the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in 2018, recognizing their enduring influence on music. They have won the Brit Award, outstanding contribution to music from the Brits themselves. Okay, so they think the Queen's pretty freaking good. Over 300 million records sold, one of the best-selling artists ever. Bohemian Rhapsody obviously is a masterclass in musical composition, honestly. Ranked among some of the greatest songs of all time, voted the UK's favorite song in the Guinness World Records poll. So, I mean, if we want to talk about the greatest British bands, let's just ask them. And then their live performance strength, I think, is maybe the hallmark of Queen, because obviously you have this talent of Freddie Mercury, Brian May, Roger Taylor, John Deacon. Like, you have great talent across the board. Of course, in a studio, you can put something great together, but they are known for their live performances. That Live Aid 1985 performance, Heather's mentioned it multiple times. It's regarded as one of the greatest live rock performances of all time. And it was like, what, a 20-minute set? It wasn't even like they did so they're masters of arena performance, possibly the greatest of all time in that sense. Just the ability to control an arena full of people and have them in the palm of your hand like that. And their tours in the 70s and 80s had this elaborate lighting, costumes, audience participation. I never saw Queen with, you could see them now, but it's not the same. But with Freddie Mercury and kind of like when I went to see Garth and I was up in the nosebleeds, and it's like you still felt like you were just right there. Just great entertainers can do that. They can make a huge place feel intimate still. They have multiple just anthems, right? We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions, just global sports anthems. And I think a lot of bands don't get that, period. But to have two that resonate not only with athletes, but fans and people use those in other contexts too. But I think, in sports, those are pretty heavily used. Their biopic in 2018 grossed over $900 million worldwide. Lady Gaga took her stage name from Radio Gaga. Mm-hmm. So super influential. And I feel that they are firmly alongside Zeppelin, the Beatles, Rolling Stones in that top. Like if you're doing, I feel like if you're doing a Mount Rushmore, honestly, of British bands, I think that's it. Yeah, I mean that's safe to say. I think. So I kind of feel like we might be just fighting for the 5th spot today because I would imagine that the Stones are going to get drafted. I don't know. There are a lot of great bands.
So
I don't know.
Deep though. I mean,
but
the British band list is.
I know it's
deep.
so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. But yeah, and I mean, we've talked about Freddie Mercury at length, ad nauseum here. But
Right.
you know, Brian May also
made
was insane.
Yeah, Brian May was on the 70s list.
I think so. Yeah.
And Freddie Mercury
was on the front man list.
Yep.
I think sometimes, well, in our list, I mean, Freddie Mercury is widely regarded,
Rightly so,
as the best to ever do it. As you know, vocally.
Yeah. That's.
I mean, as far as skill, not necessarily.
I know it's so hard. It's so hard to say.
I mean, because and I think where he gets into trouble sometimes when people are talking about the best to ever do it, like he's so good, it's so perfect that sometimes it sounds sterile.
Yeah.
You know,
I think a lot of that though is because they don't know who Ian Gillan is.
Well, that's fair.
They
That's
don't
fair.
know.
Yeah.
There are some great singers on some bands that may not have the same notoriety as Queen.
Right.
You know, that are.
But Ian Gillan we can get in. I imagine I would not be surprised if Deep Purple gets mentioned today either. But scientifically, they've done scientific studies, and that Freddie Mercury has scientifically maybe the best,
like the most sonically pleasing.
I mean, you know, as far as control, pitch.
Yeah.
You know, so I think sometimes he's too good.
He was like a Michael Phelps, right? Didn't he have some weird body thing? Like his mouth was born differently.
The way his teeth are placed in his mouth. He has more space.
So the acoustics are different, which kind of like Michael Phelps has freakishly long, like orangutan arms, and he won a bunch of gold medals.
It worked for him.
Yeah. Use it to your advantage. That's my second pick, Heather.
That's a good pick.
It is.
Okay, so it's funny that these two would be right up next to each other because my pick is the Rolling Stones.
Ah, there it is.
Another song that.
Hey, if we were going to have a podcast about songs with black in the title.
Oh, you're just needling me today.
It's an homage.
No colors anymore. I want them to turn black. I see the girls go by dressed in their summer clothes.
Yeah, it's probably not even the best Rolling Stones song.
probably not.
It may be my favorite though.
It's good. Okay, so formed in 1962, they've been active for over 6 decades. And the thing that makes them so great, it's gritty. It's, of course, you know, strictly, you know, blues based, rhythmic, driven, and it really came to set a basis for hard rock. That gritty blues based sound that they have. So it's rooted in, of course, blues and then early rock like Elvis and Buddy Holly and those artists. And they too were at the forefront of that British invasion. So in 1971, Sticky Fingers was the first usage of the iconic lips and tongue logo and the first of 8 consecutive #1 albums. They were a touring juggernaut. And by 2007, they had broken the record for the highest grossing concert tour 3 times and was the highest earning live act of 2021.
Wow.
So, you know, there were some big names in the game already in 2021. So $250 million in album sales, 4 Grammys, a Grammy Lifetime Achievement. They went in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame the year after the Beatles did. They're in the UK Hall of Fame. So they've got this, basis of blues, but they've also incorporated psychedelic, R&B, country, folk, reggae, dance, world music. Keith Richards,
Will never die.
will never. And he and Mick had a pretty well documented feud. And Mick Jagger, I don't even know where he placed on our list.
A frontman?
I think he was on the top 5 for us, but for many, because that devolved into craziness, as we know. But
Is it Bruce Dickinson?
oh my gosh, he is.
It is, in fact.
We can. He
Bruce
was number
Dickinson.
1.
No,
I think
don't even
y'all.
know.
but he made the
I think
list.
y'all
Did he
pushed
make-
him all the way down to 5. I think.
Maybe. Who'd he push out? I can't remember.
David Lee Roth.
David Lee Roth.
Oh yeah.
And rightfully so.
Anyway, stay on track. But I think that many people would agree that Mick Jagger is the embodiment of a front man, and he's been doing it for decades and decades. 31 studio albums, 13 live albums, 28 compilation albums, plus the bootlegs. They were supporters of civil rights from the jump, and even had clauses in their contract that they would not play in segregated venues. They're the only artist to top all the UK albums charts in 6 different decades. In 2019, they were second on Rolling Stone's list of greatest artists of all time.
Couldn't even get number 1 in their own.
We can talk about who got number 1 later. Their 60th anniversary was commemorated with a coin by the Royal Mint. A collectible coin. They do have a series of stamps, as do the Beatles. They actually, the Beatles only have 1 stamp, but the Rolling Stones has a series of stamps, and they have 38 top 10 albums, which is the most of any artist.
Yeah.
And-
keep pumping them out.
And I don't know what it is. That's long. I mean, when we're talking about longevity, I think their ability to adapt is key, and their ability to stay on the road and stay performing. Because I mean, at this point, like if I got the opportunity, I would travel far and wide to get an opportunity to see the Rolling Stones. I mean, you talk about iconic bucket list. I mean, very different than the Beatles, different than Zeppelin, very different from Queen.
Yeah.
But that's what works for them, is that gritty, raw. There is a place for them in that music space. So,
Yeah.
And one of my favorite Telecaster stories is Keith. He plays the Telecaster, but he I don't know exactly where, what year, but there's footage on it. You can see it easily. A guy rushes the stage while they're performing live. It's an outside venue, and he's got a gun.
oh,
And he's gonna.
that's
yeah.
Altamont.
And he's going after. He's going after Mick Jagger, and Keith wallops him with the Telecaster.
You need to watch
and
it.
immediately goes back to playing.
Gimme
awesome.
Shelter. That documentary
And,
is amazing.
And they asked Keith about it afterwards. He said, man, didn't even get out of tune. Walloped him pretty good. Said it's a good guitar. Never even came.
the
out.
way all that went down, crazy. Definitely highly recommend.
And Mick Jagger never stopped singing. They just keep going on with the performance.
That was a cluster. That whole thing.
Fantastic little story, and a testament to the full-bodied, solid-bodied Telecaster guitar.
There you go.
That's literally became an axe. It's my pick.
Yeah.
It's my pick. This is the last pick of the second round. And I'm going to say there is one band that could be considered as artistic as this one, and it would be Queen. But this pick is Pink Floyd. Gilmore, he was drafted on our 70s guitar. I don't know if he made the top 5.
I think he did.
All right, so Pink Floyd, very interesting band because they did not write for hits. That wasn't, that's just not what they were doing. They really considered their albums works of art, and that's kind of what they were gearing themselves toward. And so this is why it's really hard when you're talking about the best when you just sit there and try to compare numbers, that might not be what that band's even trying to do. They may not be trying to hit the top 40 as many times as possible. That's generally the case for pop bands, and it's generally the case for a lot of mainstream country artists today. You want to hit the top 40. You want to, have these hit singles. But Pink Floyd was working under the premise that you're not just writing a song. Each song was a piece of the whole, which was the album. And many of their albums, in fact, could be considered concept albums in a lot of ways. In fact, The Wall certainly is a concept album. But so it's really hard to it's hard for bands like Pink Floyd to simply compare numbers just for numbers' sake. For example, in a lot of the albums would have, there's a message behind the album, not just within the song. Like Dark Side of the Moon is really, it's about greed and time and the standing of society at the time. Wish You Were Here is a tribute to Syd Barrett, who was a member of the band. And then just really I guess commentary on the state of, interestingly, about the state of music becoming about trying to just make hits on the radio. And so just from an artistic standpoint, if we were going to say the most artistic bands of all time, Pink Floyd very well could be number one. But I mean, I know this is best band. But then go back to the individuals. David Gilmour, one of the greatest guitar players of all time. Roger Waters is a guy that's easy to hate, and I'll tell
you who does hate him.
Well, the Osborne family hates him for sure.
He called him a "See you next Tuesday."
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
Jack did.
Yeah, sure did. And unnecessary.
It was unnecessary,
after the
yeah.
death. I mean, if you want to say, look, I never really got Ozzy's music. Okay, that's one thing, but just bless him on. But just, then he was. He made this comment about whatever state Ozzy was in. I don't know that we'll ever know, or something like that.
Yeah.
Come on, Roger. Come on, man.
Gross.
That said, really good lyricist.
Well, and I gotta say,
you know.
"Wish You Were Here" has what I believe to be the best one single line in a song, in my opinion. When he says, "Did you exchange a walk-on part in the war for a lead role in a cage?" That's my favorite. I think that's the best one line that I've ever heard.
And he's a good bass player. I mean, he's that. Richard Wright, his keyboards are phenomenal. So you look at the individual parts. The other thing about Pink Floyd, and this is one thing that we could pretty much say about all these bands to a degree, when you hear Pink Floyd, if you don't know the song, you still know it's Pink Floyd.
That's true.
They have a distinct sound. Their harmonies aren't weird, but they're weirdly original. You know what I mean? I mean, because number one, they have like no bass. It seems like they don't have a lot of foundational type harmonies. They're all upper above the melody. It seems like, and it gives them a very unique sound that is uniquely them. And then if you just want to get into the whole, what have they done? I mean, 75 million certified albums just in the United States. That's not counting Great Britain and Europe. Dark Side of the Moon alone, 45 million copies sold. Spent 990 weeks on the U.S. Billboard Top LPs. That's a long time. The Wall has surpassed 30 million individual units. Wish You Were Here, 13 million sold. Just incredible, Grammys, lots of those. And then when you get into the editorial stuff, Rolling Stone's greatest albums, they have 4 in the top 500. 4 different albums. Rolling Stone's 500 greatest songs, they've got 4 of those. I mean, it's MSNBC. I don't know how much stake we're going to put in MSNBC, but they've got them as the 8th greatest band of all time. Q Magazine named them the biggest band of all time based on a point system that had album sales, show sales, and then how many weeks they stayed on the charts. So they've got all the accolades and stuff. They're just they're certainly a band that I once called them, actually, when we did the list on the Facebook page. Remember that one?
Yeah.
I think, was that COVID, when COVID first hit,
probably
maybe, and we were
there.
all looking for stuff to do in our living rooms. And we did the most overrated bands of all time, or the most overrated artists of all time. I had them on my list because my point at the time was they're boring.
They are boring.
And depending on what you're looking for, they're boring. I mean, that's just the point of fact. But that's because we grew, and I think a lot of it is we grew up in a house, in a rock and roll house.
Yeah.
Right? And we expect rock and roll songs. Pink Floyd's not rock and roll. They're rock, but they're not rock and roll. There's no rolling with Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I think when I changed my expectations and I kind of went into Pink Floyd with the reasonable expectations. It's like I just watched this. I just watched this comedian talk about. What was it? It was Ed Sullivan. He was talking about. He was talking about Pink Floyd, and he was saying that Pink Floyd was the best band of all time. And he said, "Well, why do you think that is?" And I said, "Well, because Pink Floyd is rock and roll. They're rock, but they're not rock and roll. There's no rolling with Pink Floyd. You know what I mean? So, I think when I changed my expectations and I kind of went into Pink Floyd with the reasonable expectations. It's like I just watched this. I just watched this comedian talk about Waffle House. And he was talking, his problem's not with Waffle House. His problems are with the people that go to Waffle House. And he said people walk into Waffle House with he said their expectations are too high. They go into Waffle House with Cheesecake Factory expectations.
Oh.
You know, and he's like, you want to talk to the manager? This is Waffle House. They don't have a manager. You can talk to the head cook who's barking out your order and got a cigarette hanging out your head. Now that's who you can talk to. And so, you know, you got to know what you're getting. And if you go into, I think, a Pink Floyd album with the expectation that you're looking at it as a form of art and not rock and roll, how you view it, I think, is drastically different.
That's true. I don't think you're going to go on a big roller coaster emotional journey in a Pink Floyd album.
But I will, you know, just as from a lyrical standpoint, from a composition standpoint, they are somewhere near the very top, not just of British bands, but of all bands. That would be my point.
I feel like Pink Floyd is kind of like Rush to me. Like, I appreciate the artistry and the skill and everything that goes into it. I recognize it. I can see it. I can identify it. I'm not going to play it in my car. I'm not going to reach for it usually. You know, but
there are some individual songs that you know, like I'm not a big Stones fan, but there are a handful of Stones songs that like Painted Black. Painted Black is one of my favorite songs, which is why it was an absolute travesty that it got somehow left off the songs with black in the top. Still don't understand how that happened.
If you want to hear how that happened, you can go back and listen to our Black Friday special from last year.
Oh, what a joke. Anyway, I get another pick. I get back-to-back
Your
picks.
last one.
And here's another. I'm not going to say it was a travesty because I wasn't on the show in which you guys had this. This was when y'all did your speeding one, 90 and a 35. Yep, remember that?
Yeah.
And it was basically the premise was songs that make you drive too fast.
Yeah.
And I was like, how did Highway Star not get selected? And Deep Purple is a band that I have, you know, discovered and become a pretty big fan of. And so my last pick, funny you should mention, I think Ian Gillan, maybe. Deep Purple.
Not surprised.
And Highway Star. Taste of Ian Gillan right out of the gate. Get ready for it.
Goodness.
So there are a number of different, is ideations the right word? There's different combinations of band members. Would ideations be used correctly there?
I don't know. Sure.
Somebody Google that.
Sounds wrong.
It sounds wrong. Ideations. I'm looking it up right now. The capacity or the act of forming.
iteration.
No, iterations.
Yeah, Sean was over here saying,
Iterations, not ideations. Ideation is in fact a word.
Ideation.
Ideation is a word.
but it's not.
But no, but we're looking at iterations.
Yeah.
Iterations is what is commonly known as the Mark II lineup. They have like Mark I, Mark II, and Mark II is the one with Ian Gillan, Richie Blackmore, John Lord, Roger Glover, and Ian Pace. And by the way,
Pies.
yeah. So the interesting thing about this goes kind of back to my Led Zeppelin argument on the individual instrument for instrument, roll for roll. Deep Purple, particularly this Mark II lineup, is freaking insane, right? Ian Gillan, who I believe is the greatest rock vocalist of all time. I put him above Freddie Mercury. I put him above Robert Plant. For me, he's number one. Richie Blackmore, if you put him in one of the top 5 guitarists of all time, I don't think there's a lot of guitar players that would balk at that. I think they would say, okay, you can make that case for sure. John Lord on keyboards. He may be the best keyboard rock organist. Well, I mean, because they did a lot of like organ stuff. I mean, they had a lot of like organ sounding stuff in there. That's why I was kind of like, do I want to say organist or do I want to say keyboard? But, and then Ian Pace, excuse me, is also one of the greatest drummers of all time. And so just it's individually they are so good, and then you get to some of the parts, which is phenomenal. And here's what I hate about Deep Purple. Everyone just thinks like it's Smoke on the Water. And that's like the worst song they ever did.
Oh yeah.
It's so frustrating, you know. But I understand that it's got a very playable riff. It's one that it's iconic. So a lot of guitar players start with that, and so it has become the Deep Purple song, and it's just a shame for me because it's as it in of itself as a song is not that really good. But be that as it may, so this is another song that or another band that is quietly, you know, we talked, or I figure that we may talk when, by the way, we're doing Ozzy next week, in 2 weeks, right? Ozzy's next, right? Yep. So one of the things that I think you may hear in the next 2 weeks is Randy Rhoads' proclivities towards classical music, his understanding of classical music. Deep Purple also had some of those same knowledge and incorporated classical components into the rock and roll, right? And so, and you see that a lot in like their Deep Purple in Rock album, for example, which was also the Mark II group. They were at one time considered the best live band of all time, and at one point they were the loudest band of all time. You know, I remember I was in the 5th grade, and they were at one point I think maybe surpassed by the Who. I think they probably had like a competition who got the most Marshall stacks, you know, whatever. But this is how stupid I was. So it was like 5th grade question on the board: what is the loudest rock band of all time? And I'm thinking, I was thinking like, and I don't know why I thought this.
I can't wait for this answer.
I have no idea. I was thinking, rock bands, like, and I was thinking because it was an academic institution, it was an academic question, I think is what I was thinking. I was like, so I'm thinking rock formations.
Oh no.
And I'm like, loudest. What do they mean? Maybe they mean like the most colorful. You know, like loud clothing. You know, so I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's in the Painted Desert. You know, so that was I was absolutely overthinking. But the answer that I remember, they announced.
I love that band, Painted Desert.
Was the Who. So at some point, the Who, I guess, maybe overtook Deep Purple or whatever. But anyway, be that as it may, that's a total aside. But Yeah, so that's kind of the but and then we want to talk about influence. Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, all had very, very important roles into what would become metal, hard rock as we know it through particularly the 80s and into today. And so when you look at them from an individual standpoint, when you look at them from their influence, to me, if we're just talking about the best bands with the best musicians, they rank right up there. And by the way, I would say that I'm going to give you. Do you think we're going to do the best gift albums again? Is that another one that we?
Oh, we never did. We never got to that last year.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
We did. We did.
Do we want to make that another one of our staples?
I guess we could.
Because little spoiler alert. Machine Head may find its way onto that list. Because it is, I think, one of the best albums ever made by anyone. They are rock and roll.
By anyone.
By anybody, any time. They are Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. They got the Classic Album Award for Deep Purple and Rock, which I don't even think is their best album. So they need to go back and give them another one, I think. They were number 22 on VH1's 100 Greatest Hard Rock Artist. And Made in Japan ranked 6th in Rolling Stone Reader's Poll for Best Live Album.
Cool story, bro.
100 million plus records sold. That's a big number. Machine Head alone has 35 million.
Sorry. 100 million plus. That's a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot. You don't think it's a lot?
No, it's obviously
million?
a lot. It's obviously a lot. So
It
it's
has
just
million behind it.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's my third pick.
It's a good
And
one.
now I'm changing into Rumble mode while you guys finish off your pick.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. So I'll stand by my third pick.
Okay.
But I also realize that a lot of bands have already, obviously we've gone through,
Sure.
The usual suspects, and for good reason they have been already named. I stand by this, and you may laugh, but I don't care, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
It's Duran Duran.
Okay.
That's what I was. I expected that.
Moving on the floor now, babe, you're a bird of paradise. Cherry ice cream smile, I suppose it's very nice. With a step to your left and a flick to the right, you catch that mirror way out west. You know you're something special and you look like you're the best. Her name is Rio and she dances on the sand, just like that river twisting through a dusty land. And when she shines, she really shows you all she can. Oh, Rio, Rio, dance across the Rio Grande.
All right, so formed in 1978 by Nick Rhodes and John Taylor, and Stephen Duffy, who did not make the long haul. But in 1980, they added lead singer Simon Le Bon and Roger Taylor and Andy Taylor, no relation to each other or John Taylor, who was already in the band. I don't know. It must be a popular name in the UK.
Yes.
So they were pioneers in that new romantic scene of the early 80s, the synth pop, new wave movement that was happening in the early 80s. They were also innovators of the music video. It did not hurt that they were quite pretty. And I cannot stress enough what a phenomenon they were, because, and I'm totally going to show my age on this pic, but that was when, there was no internet. If you wanted to see and hear your favorite musicians, or I don't think they've ever really been considered a boy band, but they were all featured in magazines like Tiger Beat and Bop and all of those magazines for young preteen and teenage girls. And, their image was very... It helped. It helped. Not that they needed help musically, but they're coming into an era where
that's important.
It is. Yeah. It was very important. And so their first album, Girls on Film, very controversial, and the video also very controversial. But like they
Sounds
say,
controversial. Just the name.
It does.
There's no such thing. It's exactly what you think it is, and there's no such thing as bad publicity, right? So. And then in 1982, they come out with Rio.
That was before cancel culture.
Oh, yeah. You could do all kinds of crap in the 80s.
Yeah. Followed, so that was a global hit. Seven and the Ragged Tiger. That's when they hit number one with The Reflex. And then Notorious, and Andy and Roger left. And that they started doing some solo things, side projects like the Power Station, which I mentioned.
Oh, okay.
And they made a bit of a comeback in 1993 with the singles Ordinary World, Come Undone. It was self-titled. And most recent, Dance Macabre in 2023. So they're still putting out really good music. They've sold over 100 million albums.
That's a lot.
That's what they say.
That's a lot, yeah. 30 top 40 singles, and 14 of those were top 10. So, they had top 5 albums in hold on, let me start over. They had top 5 albums in 5 consecutive decades.
Okay.
So consistent. 2 Brit Awards, 2 Grammy Awards, a Lifetime Achievement for the MTV Video Music Awards. They were inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2022. Now, when you talk about their influences, which then, of course, flowed out through their music, I mean, it's all over the place. The Beatles, Bowie, The Doors, a lot of electronic and glam music like T-Rex and Lou Reed and the Velvet Underground, The Clash and the Sex Pistols. Andy Taylor was a big AC/DC fan. And then, of course, that synth pop of the 80s. And Nick Rhodes is, he's still with us, a fantastic keyboard player and musician. And then they were just fashion image icons. Everybody had a favorite band member too, but I mean, they really.
Who was yours?
John Taylor.
I don't know if you showed me a picture of the band, I'd be like, that's Duran Duran.
I don't know.
And I like to think I could identify things that were before my time. But I don't know if I could do that.
I don't know. But you could probably show anybody over 40.
I'm sure you could.
But
people who, lived, And
I gotta hand it to Simon Le Bon. He was never my, pick of the group, but he has aged very, very well. He looks, there's a lot. Are you looking at a picture?
No, Mark, I know that band. Mark showed me a picture of Hanson, and I'm like, you done goofed, because I know about Hanson.
You would know Hanson, yeah. But,
have we done Hungry Like the Wolf on any of our Halloween episodes?
It might have been on the Halloween party
Maybe.
one. Maybe that'd be it. That's a good.
Maybe.
Is that synth bass or bass guitar in that we heard here?
How well has he aged?
What?
I said, how well has he aged?
Oh my goodness.
What?
He looks good for his age. He has aged well. He has not changed much. Simon Le Bon.
Who are we talking about? Simon who?
Simon Le Bon.
Simon Le Bon.
And
Where is he now?
singing
No,
with Duran Duran. They actually had a documentary about them. What are you doing? You're peeking out. Sean's not producing this episode, so now he's peeking around corners, and
Yeah.
it's strange.
He looks like a Brit even today.
You can tell a Brit sometimes. You can be like, that person is British.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you know if that synth bass or bass guitar in Rio?
There's a lot of synth in there. But
Because I had never listened to that line, and I was like, "Ooh, I like that," but I
think it's probably both simultaneously.
Okay.
Because John Taylor is a very good bass player, and so I think, and he and Nick were kind of they started, primary songwriters, and so I think that yeah. So I love them. I will stand by them. Will they make the top 5? Probably not. But I gave them a mention. So,
well, allow me to continue that train because my last pick, is also for me, and also will probably show my age. But my third pick is Muse.
man, so good.
So I wanted you to hear a little bit of Matt Bellamy there singing. Very good.
Yeah.
And has a lot of range, right? Because you hear there, he's in falsetto for a lot of this song, Supermassive Black Hole. But then, like Heather's brought to the podcast before Uprising, like on our workout songs, and he's belting. That dude can
Control.
sing. Yeah, he's great. So this is another genre fusing band: alt rock, prog rock, electronic, symphonic. You've got metal elements, and they have been described as the queen for the 21st century, queen of the 21st century. I think that's a lot due to that. They have a lot of theatricality, musical experimentation. They make bold musical choices.
Yeah.
And that's from everything from classical piano passages to hard rock that's infused with dubstep top stuff. I mean, like, just if you can imagine it, they're like, yeah, let's try it. So they're pushing boundaries of what rock music has kind of been. And so they have 2 Best Rock Album Grammys, 2 Brit Awards for the Best British Live Act, over 30 million albums sold worldwide. They have 2 Q Awards for the Best Act in the World Today. That's pretty good. In the world. So they're also a band that's known for their live performances. One of the greatest live acts of their generation, the musicianship and stage design, and just it's a spectacle. They have massive LED towers, drones, holograms, just super impactful visuals that go with it. So you have this like experimental, futuristic stage show that is mirroring their futuristic style of music. I say futuristic, I mean like 2000s. Right. I mean, they've made stuff into the 2010s too, but their lyrics frequently explore like political and social themes. You can see that in Uprising a lot. They will not force us. They will stop degrading us. They will not control us. So things like dystopia, resistance, surveillance, existential struggle, which really, as people like us growing up in the 2000s, like my age group, I mean, like Y2K being in your formative years of like just technology changing so much and going from we can go just run around outside. Like my friend Katie used to just call and be like, you want to go for a walk? And mom would be at work or whatever. And we'd just go walk around the neighborhood and it was fine. And we would come home and we would come home safely. And because that was all we had to do, either that or watch reruns of Dawson's Creek or something like, you know,
I don't want to wait.
yeah. And so then like, as we grow, technology and social media, and we're so much more connected to each other in the world, and you know, some for good, some for bad, but like my generation has seen this change and we have grown with it. Like Gen Xers and stuff, I feel like you guys are a little bit separated from the technology aspect of like, well, you were already grown when it started evolving really fast. And then we grew up and grew with it. And then generations after us always had it. Right. So we're kind of in this weird fusion place. And so we get that distrust, that what is happening, but we're just going to roll with it kind of thing. And that was always a thing with our age group of just what is happening in this world. So their futuristic style helped reestablish arena rock in a time where pop and electronic stuff was really taking over. They've been compared to Queen, Radiohead, Pink Floyd, just some of the great boundary-pushing bands. And I am under no illusions that we're going to put them in the top 5, but I wanted to be able to say, here's something that, like, we have some greats, but like great rock music is still being made.
They have the chops.
They do. And they're like politically charged, like Rage, but technically precise, like a Queen or Radiohead, you know. So they have both of those things going for them. So if you haven't listened to Muse, you should go do it. And you're welcome.
So now we have to, I think, talk about the ones that we had on our list that we, because that's all the draft picks, right?
Yes.
That's all.
Oh, so who are the draft picks?
Ben drafted Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, and Deep Purple. Heather drafted the Beatles, Rolling Stones, and Duran Duran. And I drafted Fleetwood Mac, Queen, and Muse.
So the band that I had on my list, like for you, was Muse, and for you was Duran Duran. Mine was Radiohead, which was huge in the 90s.
Yep.
Huge band in the 90s. Just didn't get far enough down on the list for me to draft them. But I remember that the album The Bends for Radiohead, which was like, that's probably 95, 96. Oh my gosh, it looked like the cover of it had that looked like a wailing version of the Easter Island head or something on there. It was weird, but you know, they started off with, I think Creep might be their first big hit.
I don't know. Karma Police.
But that would have been 90. Creep was like 92 or something. I didn't do my research on Radiohead because I didn't draft them.
Right.
But that was the one from my era, you know, that I had on there. Also on my list, I had The Who and Black Sabbath.
Oh.
But we drafted everybody else.
I had Def Leppard. I also had The Cure.
Okay. I only had 2 that did not get drafted, and they were my 8 and 9. Iron Maiden. And Coldplay.
Yeah.
I love Coldplay.
Ooh,
Coldplay's still
boy.
relevant.
Still relevant.
Year of our
Still.
Lord
Yeah.
2025.
They're like a massively popular, like, selling band. I don't know. Like, people rag on them a lot, but
Are they
they're
Britain's,
actually really
are
good.
they Britain's Nickelback?
They might be, but they're really good. I don't know why
They are
people.
really good.
I don't know why people do that with them. But anyway,
All right. So we have 9 songs, and now we've got to cut it from 9 to 5.
working 9 to 5.
Okay. So I think, I mean, I'm gonna guess that there are some that we can move over without argument. The Beatles, I think we can move over without argument.
Yeah.
Zeppelin, I think we can move over without argument.
Yeah.
I had Queen number 3 on my list. You drafted them where?
4.
You had them 4. Did you have Queen on your list?
4.
So, I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
Queen's probably going over.
Okay.
Now, I do have an issue with Fleetwood Mac. Because it's an Anglo-American band. You know what I mean? It's
What?
I mean, they didn't start out that way.
Yeah, that's true.
Just because you change
who
personnel,
are
then
who are the American members?
Lindsay and Stevie.
Don't. I can see the argument. Me.
Take them out.
Yeah.
Do we still like Fleetwood Mac as much?
Why are you looking at me?
I'm asking.
But they did have Peter Green, and I mean, Peter
Okay.
Green was.
Christine ain't no
Yeah.
slouch.
Oh no, I think Christine is amazing.
I think a better singer. But
Who else is up for consideration?
I mean, so
Pink Floyd, Deep Purple. Man, you like the color bands. Pink Floyd, Deep Purple, Rolling Stones,
Pink and
Duran
Purple.
Duran,
Pink and
Fleetwood
Purple.
Mac music.
Pink and purple. Have I told y'all the pink and purple polka dotted pink?
Oh my
No,
God! Don't do it.
We don't have time.
I will get
We
up
do not
and
have
leave.
time.
So the other one that I would think would be in consideration for directly moving over would be the Stones. They are number 6 on my list. They're not in my top 5.
I had him at 7, but
So
yoinks! I didn't expect that.
you don't like Pink Floyd at all. You may not have even had them on your list.
They're down like 8 or something like that.
Did you have Pink
I
Floyd?
did not.
You did not have Pink Floyd on your list. So that's certainly not a move over. Deep Purple. Did you have Deep Purple on your
6.
list?
I actually had him ahead of the Rolling
Did not
Stones.
have Deep Purple on your list.
Wait.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay, well, you're wrong. I did not have Duran Duran or Muse on my list.
Yeah, I didn't figure that.
Did you have Duran Duran on yours?
I did not.
Did you have Muse on yours?
No.
Okay. So, did you have Fleetwood Mac on yours?
I didn't.
Okay, so well, where are you falling on the Fleetwood Mac argument then? You didn't have it on your list. Why did you not have it on your list?
Because I struggled in the same way that I struggled with the American bands. I wasn't sure where to put them. Now, as far as my personal favorite bands, they're probably top 3. But
But where do you fall on them being
they're more
in
British
in
than
contention for
American.
this? Okay, but you didn't put them on your list. So are you in favor of inclusion or not in favor of inclusion?
Who else?
Really, where we stand is we have 2 spots and 3 actually being considered: Deep Purple, Rolling Stones, Fleetwood Mac.
Okay. So where do? If I had,
I'm asking, like, do you feel like Fleetwood Mac should be disqualified because of their American members? Is kind of the question that I'm asking here.
Are y'all going to Prince Fleetwood Mac?
I just don't know where to put them. I don't know what to do with them.
So yes,
I don't know. What are you thinking? Why are you asking me? Why don't you say?
because he's trying to get it disqualified.
Well, no, because I mean, if I considered them a British band, I would have put them on my list. But they're a British American band, so I didn't include them on my list.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'll be real honest. I don't know what to do with them while the Rolling Stones are still hanging out there.
Well, there are
I
two
don't-
spots. Really, you're picking. You would obviously choose your own. You'd be actually choosing between Deep Purple and Fleetwood Mac.
Gosh,
Which is tough.
that is tough.
That's apples and oranges.
Yeah, very different.
Yep.
Very different. But, you know, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Fleetwood Mac. It's just they didn't fit what I would consider to be a British band, which would be all the members, or at least all of the prominent members of the band being British. You know, I mean, it would be one thing if you had like the third bass player in the band. You know, like they've replaced 2 people and they pulled somebody from, you know, whatever, Des Moines, Iowa. That'd be different. but like these are Stevie Nicks is the face of the band. Is my primary issue with it. But it's 2 votes to to swing this thing. She wants them in. She so I'm a vote against inclusion. So it comes down to you to whether or not they're included or not.
Can we come back to that?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of an important.
Okay. I will say that because I really, really love Fleetwood Mac in their lineup when Stevie and Lindsay came in, that Deep Purple is more of a British band, even though I like Fleetwood Mac more than Deep Purple. So that's what I say.
So those are the top 5. We got it.
Now,
here we go.
Should we work from the bottom up?
Maybe.
I
don't even know if that's going to be. I wouldn't say Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Queen, Rolling Stones, Deep Purple.
Okay, so where was Rolling Stones for you on your
2.
list? 2. Woo! That throws a monkey wrench in it because, like, I would have said we could have at least tried.
No. I'm sorry. I take nope. Led Zeppelin was number 2.
Okay, because I was starting to feel like maybe we could at least say Deep Purple and the Rolling Stones were going to be 4 or 5 in some order, and we could maybe try to work out something. But you may want the Rolling Stones higher than 4 or 5.
I can recognize the difference in musicality and skill between the Rolling Stones and Deep Purple, and that in that capacity, Deep Purple is a better musical band than the Rolling Stones. Influential? No. Successful? No. But musically, they are better than.
So if we're going to do that, I'm just asking a question. I'm just posing a question. Do the Beatles get a pass to the top 3 simply because of who they are?
No.
So then, honestly,
I think
if you're speaking musically,
Ian Gillan's a better singer than Robert Plant.
Yes.
So then why are we talking Stones, Deep Purple 4 and 5?
So you're not against.
You're just trying to be an agent of chaos right now. I see what you're doing. And
but
so let's just.
I don't not believe in what I'm saying.
But
I have traveled this road many times. So
I just want to say that
if we get a broken list,
and I do not disagree with you at all about your synopsis of Deep Purple and Rolling Stones. But that is the exact argument I made about the Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, but you're incorrect.
Beatles.
That's the problem.
I'm incorrect. So George Harrison.
You're saying that every member of Led Zeppelin is at the top of their game. That is not a fact. And I will tell you that Paul McCartney and John Paul Jones, I would argue that Paul McCartney is at least as good or better than John Paul Jones.
Okay. Well,
at their instruments.
Let's give you that one. I'll for the sake of argument, I will give you Paul McCartney.
Okay.
At bass.
Okay.
But I'm doing it just to prove the point. Vocals, Robert Plant, or you can choose Lennon or McCartney. Take your pick.
Any of the 4.
Who wins?
Honestly.
This is not complicated.
Don't do
this
that.
This is not complicated. It's obviously Robert Plant. George Harrison, who is great, or Jimmy Page?
Wait a minute. No.
This is not complicated.
No, it is complicated because you cannot. Jimmy Page is a phenomenal blues-based guitarist. When you talk about the spectrum of skill that it takes and the amount of different types of genres and versatility, I'm not going to sit here and say there's no way that John Bonham is a better drummer than Ringo. Okay. For sure. Don't talk to me like I'm stupid.
I'm not, but you're making this. I mean, we're sitting here talking about the argument is Jimmy Page, who is like universally considered one of the 5 greatest guitar players of all time.
I don't dispute that.
And George
fact.
Harrison is not. I mean, I don't know what the conversation is about here.
Could you put them and they could equally play all of the different styles?
Prince played George
Harrison in this conversation.
He played George Harrison's song better than George Harrison did.
Oh man.
Well, first of all,
So,
he's not even in this conversation, and two, he played it differently than George Harrison, and
better because it was better.
Oh my. Oh my.
When you go position by position,
yeah,
it's Zepp, 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 Zepp.
there's only 4 of them.
So that's a bonus. That's a bonus point.
Who's the fifth? I mean, Clarence, the fifth Beatle. But you have to take other things into consideration. You have to take songwriting.
I will say
you have to take
the Beatles
influence.
are the best pop songwriters that ever lived.
They're not just pop songwriters. Anything after Revolver is not a pop song.
I've already told you, I'll give you the songwriting. I'll give you songwriting.
Okay. But Robert Plant isn't even
That's
the
it.
best singer on that list.
Of our top 5?
Yeah.
True. I agree.
Yeah, he's the second best on the list.
Maybe.
I would put him
Probably third.
I would say maybe third.
Okay, so since the arguments between Zeppelin and the Beatles,
Is it though?
I'm just saying. Let's pretend for a moment. Where does Paul and John end up on the list of vocalists of the 5?
Oh, 4 out of 5.
Who are they ahead of?
Mick.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. Yeah, but there's a big drop off
There is
between
a big
3 and 4.
drop-off.
It's a huge drop.
Well, that is a dumb argument. Say, okay, no, we're just going to take them individually. A band is more than the sum of its parts.
Mm-hmm. But we're doing the best band. So
I understand
how do we-
that.
how do we-
I'm
how do we-
fully aware of what episode we're on.
how do we measure the sum of its parts?
Well, you say all the time, well, it's number 1 for a reason. There's a reason that they have all those freaking Grammys and that they are widely considered the best band to ever do
they're
it.
considered the greatest band. There's two different things.
You choose to.
There's 2 different things.
You choose
Two different
to.
things.
I understand they're 2 different things, and I know which argument I'm making, but you flip and move the goalposts every time. And when you talk about how it fits your argument, are we talking best or are we talking greatest? Well, I am talking best.
And you think
They are better overall with their songs and fantastic musicians and versatility and different genres and songwriting and production and everything. They are a better band than Led Zeppelin. Put the songs up. Let's not all, go with just the skills of each member. Let's put the songs up against each other. First of all, how long was Led Zeppelin even in business?
until Bonham died.
Well, that's probably not actually. I mean, when you're
that's not
comparing,
fair.
the Beatles weren't in business that
I'm not
long
talking
either.
about longevity. I'm talking about the amount of work that they
Oh
put
my
out
God,
in their.
the Beatles were putting out albums like every 2 months. I mean, it's a ridiculous, especially in the beginning. It's a ridiculous.
I'm not even talking about their early stuff.
The volume is crazy.
It is crazy for that short amount of time.
Yeah, and there's a lot of trash on the volume.
Ooh.
I mean, come on. Now there is a lot of
Trash?
filler.
What do you say is trash?
There's a lot
What
of
is-
filler. There's a ton of filler.
Like what?
Well,
I mean, I
we
just-
don't
go
know it
track
because
by-
it's filler.
Shall we go track by track on the Zeppelin albums? I mean,
Go for it.
there's trash
Go
on,
track by track.
compared to Beatles albums.
Do the comparison.
I don't have them pulled up.
Well,
in
you're
right in
the
front of me.
one that threw out the challenge.
Oh,
And
golly.
I'm telling you, do
Well,
it.
tell me what's trash about the Beatles. Give me
I'm
a
just
song
saying
that's trash.
there's a lot. Well, let me pull up an album.
Oh, you got to pull it up?
Well, yeah, they're filler songs. I mean, nobody knows what they are. And I know this because when I listen to the Beatles channel on Sirius XM, there's a bunch of songs.
You know what this feels like? the guy that's arguing about Glenda.
Yeah. The Wicked Witch of the East, bro. Grow up.
Down in a bubble.
I'm trying to figure out how to realign us, how to get us back to somewhere we can make some progress. But I also
Here's
really
what's gonna
like
happen.
to stir the pot.
He's not gonna, and you're gonna end up being the swing vote, and we might as well just.
But I don't
like,
understand why.
not-
I don't understand why we're acting like there are only 2 bands to talk about right now. That's what I don't get.
Well, put it in there.
Okay, well, do you have an idea on who you think should be number one?
No, but what I wouldn't do.
What are we doing?
I wouldn't do the Beatles. I would put them highest. Maybe 3.
Okay, well then there's no point in you and I having this fight if.
Oh, but I like it.
Because I feel like you're making the argument that the Beatles have sold the most albums and they've had the most hits, and therefore
No,
that's the
not
argument
therefore.
for. I feel like that's,
But it supports the argument.
I feel like that's the argument.
Well, it's not, and I just told you that it wasn't.
Because Led Zeppelin had these freaking 6-minute, 7-minute songs
Right.
that are never going to be on the radio.
No, and some of them are.
And so it's not and so it's not fair to compare that to, 2-minute ditties that get played on the radio all the time.
Not ditties. Oh. Dang.
That's what
Yeah.
Blues Traveler said. Hip 3-minute
ditty.
ditties. I want to bust the balloons. I want to burn all of your city.
Listen, I've played
boy.
this game so many times that let's just rip the Band-Aid off. I know I'm outvoted.
So I would put Led Zeppelin and Queen above the Beatles.
As best bands, yes, probably yes. And I would probably put Deep Purple as when it comes to. She made the argument.
Y'all
She
do
made
this-
the argument for Deep
Y'all
Purple.
do this
But
all
I
the
love-
time. You're like, oh, let's piss Heather off and bump her band down to the
No,
bottom.
But,
And
here-
that's,
no.
I
but
mean,
here's what happened the last time this happened. It's best that I'm just playing.
absurd. It's absurd.
You remember when I did that? That was fun.
Yeah, she did this whole thing one time and then
I
put
know.
your
I
band
was
all the way
there.
to the top.
I remember.
You got all mad, and then you got your number one pick.
Is that what I'm doing now?
I don't know.
I don't know. You'll
I
have
don't
to
know.
see.
Y'all work it out.
Heather, you got your panties in a
I
bunch over
do.
there.
I'm pissed at this point. You can put that on the intro for the next soundbite.
I'm beep at this point. That's going to be on the intro.
Yep.
Oh, save that. Mark that. Mark that time.
Park.
Mark it. Mark that time.
Well,
Ooh,
so what do we do?
it's been a hard day's night. You know.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, when the levee breaks, it gets bad around here.
Oh man. So
So the Stones are 5.
I would put them 5. Heather just told us both were number 1.
Well, when added together, it's 2. But so the Stones are 5.
Okay.
We may be doing this the rest of this. I told
It
y'all.
wouldn't be the first time.
I told y'all. I tried to warn you. I tried to get everybody in the state of mind that this was going to be emotional.
I told y'all I took my anxiety medicine and I ain't bothered.
All right. So the Stones 5.
Yep.
Heather, you okay with that?
Yep. That's great.
It's in
Okay.
pen.
4. Beatles.
I don't know if I'm willing to go there yet. I would I assume it's gonna be Zeppelin then Queen. I wouldn't vote for.
Well, now she's so mad at Zeppelin, she's probably going to push them all.
I don't.
the way
I'd
down.
be cool to put Queen number 1.
I don't give
Well, but you're the swing vote
any F's. Oh, that's unfortunate. Because
between Zeppelin and Queen.
Oh, Queen.
Yeah, I knew that.
No,
was
no,
coming.
wait. I want Queen above Zeppelin.
Yeah.
That's what
Great.
we said. And see, that was just but just know, people just know
Yep.
that this is
It's
how
yesterday.
this is
It's
this is how
yesterday all over
this is how yesterday got left off the push down to number 2.
I don't care anymore.
So now the question is Deep Purple or the Beatles Oh, it's a godly. I'm going to be the swing vote.
Well, then in that case, my argument would be pretty much the same. Ian Gillan versus any of the Beatles vocalists.
Yeah, but the songwriting on that one is I mean, like,
Do we care about songwriting now?
Yeah.
It does play a role.
But I
now
mean,
we
okay.
care.
But
It's not
come
the
on.
only-
But come on.
I'm going to sit back now.
You can't be like, Deep Purple has on par songwriting as Led Zeppelin and Queen.
Not even close.
Ain't nobody gonna take my car. I mean, like, what?
Listen.
I mean, that's like, I'm not saying it's a
I
bad
don't know.
song, but like,
No,
what?
y'all
And then
work
he
it out.
actually rhymes everything with everything.
So this, and that's who you're putting them above the Beatles?
No,
I
think
didn't
she's-
say
I
that,
think
but
she-
you are getting dangerously close to the
I don't
backing
care.
me up
That's
with
what's,
it.
you're not going to go based on the actual facts of the
No,
musicianship.
that's not
you're
true.
Get petty.
No,
And so,
you got petty. You just put Queen above Zeppelin for no good
yeah,
reason.
I did because it's broken at this
Okay,
point.
so then don't
You-
say don't
you got-
don't say then I can't do that.
You can.
hypocrite.
You absolutely can. Do it.
I'm not going to because the integrity
can't
of the
wait
list
to
is
write
the
the liner
integrity
notes
of
for this
the
one.
list.
Oh my God.
I care about the integrity of the
Oh
list.
my
I'm going to
God.
put the Beatles
That's what we do.
above Deep Purple. And that's the list. We've done it. The best British bands, according to us. Well, according to me
according
and
to Ben and Ben.
Ben. Number 1. Wow, I can't believe I did this. Queen. Number 2, Led Zeppelin. 3, the Beatles. 4, Deep Purple. And 5, the Rolling Stones.
Was Queen above Led Zeppelin on your list?
They were actually not.
Oh, come on.
The integrity of the list.
Come on.
But the Beatles, I had the Beatles at number 2.
Yeah. And there, and
my
look, and look.
goodness.
I mean, this
Baby
is
Girl is unpredictable.
BS.
So you really do probably believe, but in all honesty, you probably do believe that Led Zeppelin's better than Queen.
I probably like more Queen songs than I like Led
That's
Zeppelin
not what I
songs.
asked.
If we're taking position by position, probably Led Zeppelin.
So put an asterisk by this one,
1A,
and we'll
1B.
know that Zeppelin is actually the best band to ever come out of
Well,
England.
but that's not what we wrote down. So next week, oh hey, vote for us.
Yep.
If you want more content like this, vote for us in the RCast Awards. We're up for about 11 awards. The best music podcast, get us to a repeat on that one. The best arts podcast, best comedy podcast. I know I had fun tonight. Best. The best male-hosted podcast, the best podcast production company. Look for Studio 114 Productions. Podcaster of the Year. That's for all 3 of us. And podcast producer of the
And
year.
that's really like voting 3 times just for one, right? Like if you vote for us for best podcaster, you're really getting 3 votes when you only have to vote once.
What?
Because you're voting for 3 different people.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how that works. And then podcast producer of the year, look for Sean Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
So vote for us again. Our links to the link to vote for that will be on the social medias,
Mm-hmm.
Facebook,
X,
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah. So, man, what an exciting episode. I told y'all from the jump, I told y'all at the beginning it was going to be this way. And guess what? I was right. It be that way. It got that way.
Yep. We'll see if this carries over into any of the next ones we do.
We've got a guest next time. We do. Brilliant guitar player.
Yes.
And somebody, just give you a little hint, it's going to be the best of Ozzy Osbourne. And it's somebody who knows Ozzy's discography with both Black Sabbath and in Ozzy Osbourne extremely well. That's going to be Beth's niece, Julia, and we will be not live. I always want to say live, but we're not live. Sorry to say. These are recorded. But we will be dropping this 2 weeks from this time from today. Assuming you hear this on the day that it drops.
Yeah, that's true. So we win every 2 weeks on Wednesdays.
Yeah. Mornings, early mornings if you live in the States. If you live elsewhere, I don't know what time that would be for you.
No.
But hey, have a great week. Catch us on social media, vote for us, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thanks for joining us on the Music List podcast. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. She almost had it.